let's get into Bitcoin. We can clearly see that we broke below this. If you remember previously, we had this trend line like this as a channel on H1 time frame. We were looking for buy setups. We looked for a buy here, for a buy here, and so on. But then, as you see, traded higher, and like for those who have already watched the previous one, already know that we would be bullish here and expecting a movement till the 22,500, unless we break below the 20k, which happened unfortunately on Friday, on Sunday, I guess. It happened on Sunday we traded a little bit lower, and then on Monday on Tuesday we had this movement lower. Okay, so as you see, we broke. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, so as you saw, we broke below this low, which is an indication that the bears are taking over again to drag it back inside this range. We had a movement till the 18k, so after this break we expected a movement till the 18k. We had it, and then here we rejected it with 2 wicks, and then unfortunately we broke below it. It is not good at all. Okay, especially if you see, let me delete this one, no longer helpful now, especially if you if this daily candle closes now below this lower below the 18k. Okay, and like to be exact, if you want, below the 17,500. Let me draw it, because like this low is right here, and you can see that already now, and of course it's a wick, but already we've got now the lowest point for this entire year. Okay, so now like things are going crazy. We are finally having this break. If this daily candle closes like this as a momentum candle below 17,600, I guess, or 500. Yeah, this is basically it. 17, yeah, that's it. 17,550 or 7. Anyway, let's make it a round number. So if we break below this zone from daily time frame, it wouldn't be good. We've got this wick, and then we already filled it. Okay, so usually when we have a wick, okay, price will go down, fill half of it, or like 2/3 of it, and then reverse to form a new wick, and then reverse. But it's not the case here, as you see, for example, here. Okay, we had a wick, filled most of it, traded lower again, and we had a wick, and so on. It might result with this. Okay, like this is daily time frame. It might result with this, because this one was a big candle and then a wick, and then here we go, went a little bit higher and then got a wick. So if we get this reversal now at the end of the day, and this one closes as a wick here, it might be like the bulls would still have the chance to kick in from here. Okay, but for now, like for the current situation, things are not looking good. After 7 hours, I guess. Let me see. 3 hours, 10, 2, 5. Yeah, after 7 hours, this daily candle would close. So we still have 7 hours to know like what might happen next. So that's it for Bitcoin. We're breaking below this range. The 17k, if you 17.5, if you break it downward, we'll be expecting further bearish movement. We might have a small correction like this before trading lower. Okay, but it might be a correction. Now every bullish movement is a correction unless we trade higher, form a wick here, and break a major high from H4. Okay, just like what we did here, we saw it from H4. For now, it's breaking. If we retest, it would be a correction before drag it down to the next rejection. Next rejection in this case would be the 10 to 12k. The 15k is like simply a round number. It's not anything. Okay, it's not like a support resistance, as you can see. Okay, so this one is a demand zone. We had a bullish movement from here. It started from here, not from 15k, and here we had the rejections, multiple ones, right, and not from 15k. So, but just like if you want that as a round number, okay. Sorry. So this daily candle is very important. Now it would decide what might happen next. Next, okay. Anyway, let me zoom into H4 again. That's the view from H4. If you zoom into H1 time frame, we can see that price has been trading lower and lower. As you can see, I got my alert right here, okay, which explains like what I meant previously. We need to see this big bullish movement, like first, like for this next 7 hours, we need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like this. Okay, so for this to become a wick from daily, and then we need to see, like for example, like this, a break above this high. Then and only then a break above 18,700, then and only then the bulls can reclaim this support. Okay, but for now things are not looking good. If we keep on trading lower, or for example like this, okay, this would result in a daily close below the 17,500, which isn't good. Okay, for Ethereum, a very similar scenario. As you remember, we've got this like midweek support, support. This was the previous major low and 1500, which has been acting as support lately, now broken downward. So if we trade higher, we need to see a break above the last major high. For now, we've got this one and we've got this one, right? So short term, medium term. But for now, if the daily candle closes below this area, it wouldn't be good. And like this would just be a correction to test the previous support and resistance. Okay, unless this daily candle pushed higher. Okay, so like, and as you can see, like Ethereum is like even weaker than Bitcoin, because you can clearly see like this one, like the wick is here, now we are here, but while for Ethereum, like we are far away, like more like from the wick. Okay, so if this daily candle closes below this area, you can clearly see it as support and resistance, right? And just like this candle pushed price higher, imagine what this candle would do. Okay, so if this daily candle closes below this area, below this entire zone, okay, like this, like for example, like 1250, okay, 12, 30, 40, 50, this area here, it wouldn't be good. We'll be expecting at least a movement to do 1K, which you can see my alert around 1K 50, around this demand zone. If broken downward, we'll be expecting further bearish movement. So moving to 1K would be Bitcoin moving to 15K. Okay, and then Bitcoin moving to like 12K, which is our next demand rejection, would be Ethereum moving till the 600, like 700, which is why you see my alert around. My alert is also around the 700, right here. Okay, so because 700 is, if you zoom out, we can clearly see it. I said demand zone, the bullish movement started from here previously, and then we've got the 400, which is the main support and resistance. So yeah, we might even drop till the 400 if the 1K zone doesn't hold. Okay, and the situation from weekly also isn't looking good. Of course, like we said, like a couple of days before the weekly candle closes, but the situation like so far from daily isn't good. From lower time frames, from H4, as mentioned, this is the last minor high, and this is the last. Here we go. Okay, so short term, medium term, at least for the bulls to like to show strength again. Meanwhile, we are just having small bullish candles and then a bearish movement, small bullish candle, and then a reversal. Okay, so we are very bearish. Unless again and again, just as Bitcoin for the remaining like for the remaining 6 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, it's very important. If we see this, then it will result with a wick right here. Okay. Joseph, hope you're doing good, and you also have Sustain Empire. Glad to see you here. If you have any questions, let me know. For now, let's do NWC again and again, just like the entire market. We are going lower. We broke below this support and resistance, which was in green. That's it. That's our support here, resistance here, and the demand zone here got rejected multiple times previously, and now support like this support was holding, traded higher, rejected this resistance, and then we broke unfortunately below the support zone. Now our next rejection is this high right here around 0.0555 and 0.5. That's it. Okay, that's our next rejection, which NWC is approaching now. If you go to weekly time frame, this is why that's the 0.05 0.05 and 0.055 is a strong one. As you see here, it's a rejection and it's the lower bound of this big demand zone, as we had an aggressive movement from upward from here. So that's basically it. We are retesting. Anyway, you can see it from weekly very clearly. This demand zone here, retesting it now. So we'll be looking for buy setups right here. Okay. Okay, so just give me a minute, please. Okay, so that's it for NWC. Okay,